it's just cool to see it all. I
Let's
love what you
just
do.
let's talk for a little bit, and then we'll stop and do the intro. I kind of
Okay.
like where they come in and they we're already in the middle of chatting, and then I go, oh, you guys. So who have you interviewed that I've interviewed, and who are your friends that are my friends?
Well, recently I just had Tom Dreesen on the show, and I saw that you had Tom Dreesen,
Yes,
and
we share him. We
and
can have a
Tom.
threesome.
Yeah, there you go. It was a
Yeah.
Tom Dreesen sandwich. No, but uh, but Tom is a great guy, great human being, an amazing stand-up comedian. His career was
Yes,
awesome. So it was an honor for me to have him on the show. I'm sure you probably felt the same way.
I sure did. Such history.
Yeah. And then some of my
Yeah.
friends, so some of the guys that are in my kind of governor's comedy world that you've had on. I know you had Andy Plagianos has been on your show. Great guy, funny guy. Jeff Bosey, I believe, was on your show.
That guy
Uh,
had me laughing so hard.
Bosey's a funny guy. He's a regular on my show as well. He does a character on there and stuff. So it's cool just to see.
Do you mean to say that his character that he isn't good enough? Jeez. He
Yeah,
has more up his sleeve than that. Jeez.
yes, he has a few tricks up his sleeve. So it's very nice. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm loving what you do, and I'm honored to be on your show, and this is great. I'm having a blast.
I'm honored to be on yours sometime.
Yeah, we got to get you on. That'll be terrific.
Okay, I'll crack you guys up. I love my Long Island boys and girls.
There you go. Where are you from? I know right now you're based in Vegas, right? But where are you? Are you from here, New York?
Well, I have jokes. So do you want the real or do you want the jokes?
Well, let's go with the joke first, and then we'll go to the real.
Okay. I'm from the Upper West Side. Not the good one, not New York. I'm from the bad one, the Upper West Side of the US map, Oregon.
There you go.
Nothing good comes from there, not even me.
Yeah, they're having some trouble now.
Yeah, they're trying to keep Portland weird without me, so they had to go into overdrive.
So is that also the real answer? Are you from Oregon?
Yeah.
Very
Portland,
nice.
born and raised in Portland.
Wow.
And I'm so old that I used to have to ride the trolley all the way downtown to shoplift. That's what
Nice.
that kind. These are jokes,
There you
this is shtick.
Yeah,
You're from Long Island, shtick.
Oh, I'm full of it. I'm full of shit.
I love Long Island comics so much. You guys are so dope. You're
Me
not
too.
like, it's a strong community.
I love. I'm born and raised in Long Island. Then I moved because I started working in sports production, video production. So everything you saw on the jumbotrons, I would produce those videos, right? So I moved to North Carolina and worked for the Carolina Hurricanes for about 12 years. Won the Stanley Cup with them, got a ring and all that. But then I went to Atlanta for another 4 years, worked with the Atlanta Falcons.
What?
But
that's not hockey.
No. I worked in football and I went to the Super Bowl, the infamous one where we lost. We had a 28-3 lead going into the fourth quarter and we blew it. And I was a part of that. But the point is, the reason why I say all that is because when I went to the South, and I love the South, but I experienced the stand-up communities over there and great people, great comedians. But coming back to Long Island, they're so tight-knit and the comedians are so great. And the community is so strong that there's nothing like it, and it makes me proud of what we have here on Long Island. And I love the scene, and I want to see what we have start to expand and let the world take notice, because a lot of attention on the city comics, the New York City comics, but I think I sometimes feel like we're underrated and we need to showcase what we got.
I'm willing to have anybody from Long Island on, because I think that, I spent time in New York twice, and it wasn't in Rikers Island. It was in Manhattan. And I'm telling you, there isn't anybody in Long Island Island that isn't as good as anybody in New York City. I mean, that is a negative way to say something positive. You guys are so dope. And I was so intimidated to break myself into the Long Island comedy group. I thought, I'm from Oregon. I don't sound like I'm from New York. They're a tight knit group. They're never going to accept me. And little by little, you guys are falling like dominoes.
We're very open. That's the thing too. We accept. Look, I'm wearing my Strong Island shirt right now too. I didn't even know we were going to get into all of this.
Yes.
But here's the thing: is we are a very open and accepting group. Like a lot of times, new comedians will emerge. People just starting out, and a lot of times that could be scary if you're trying to break into a scene and you're the new guy doing stand up, which is very hard in itself. But then when you're going up on an open mic, you're basically performing for other comedians for the most part. But they're very accepting, and they'll bring you in, even if you're not funny. They'll still bring you in and they'll try to help you out. And
why are you saying that to me, Don?
No, you're great. I think you're awesome. I would love to see you come down, do a set or two at Governor's with us. That would be terrific. Yeah.
I'll be there at Christmas time if the world opens and it's safe to travel. I'm coming there for the Broadway and comic strip live Christmas parties.
That'll be awesome.
I mean Hanukkah parties, whatever.
It will be great to have you on Long Island. Come to the world famous Governor's Comedy Club. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Never, and I want to go so badly.
Yeah, it's a great comedy club, great comedy scene. I think everybody would embrace you and love you, and the fans would get a kick out of your comedic stylings.
Thank you. Hey, I have a question for you. I know this has to do with me more than you. How come have I done almost 500 interviews and not one marriage proposal? What's up with that, Don?
I don't know. It's funny you say that. I was preparing for the big question, but no. I think it's gonna happen. I think if there's any way to propose to you, it would be during the Zoom interview. I think that would be the way to do it.
That would be the way to do it. I wouldn't care if it's a cubic zirconium, and a strap on. I'm kidding.
I have both. I have them both in my closet.
I want to do the introduction now that we've talked and everybody's like, oh, we're coming in the middle of something. We just didn't do the intro. So I asked Don Sill out of Long Island with Governor's Radio Game Show called Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up, based out of Long Island, to come on here and give me an intro. And here's what he said, and I quote. Don Sill talks about himself in the third person. That's your first warning.
Yes.
I'm kidding. Don Sill is the creator. Oh my gosh, he's the creator. He's the creator and host of the Governor's Radio Game Show called Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Out, based out of Long Island, New York, at the world famous Governor's Comedy Club. Oh my gosh, I adore that club and everybody in there. Don also works in sports production and has 3 championship rings from 3 different teams and 3 different sports. Yeah, he's got the triple. Like, I don't even know if some of the NBA greats had a lot of triples.
No, it's weird in hockey. So I was in hockey for a long time and had the Stanley Cup ring. And I never played ice hockey in my life. I mean, I ice skated a handful of times in my life, and here I am walking around with a ring, right? So we went to a draft. I covered the draft in Philadelphia. I don't know, man. It must have been maybe 8-9 years ago. And I'm walking around, and there's hockey legends that have never won the Stanley Cup. And here's me, just walking around, and I got this giant Stanley Cup ring on, and they're looking at me as if like, is he a former player? Or then they look at me again. They go, no, he's definitely not. And but it was awkward to the point where I felt like I'm not worthy to wear this ring. but when you are a part of the team and part of the production team and because there is such a thing as home field advantage, and that's what we did at these games. So we had, like, on the Jumbotron, we would definitely rally the troops, rally the home fans and all that stuff. So we get rewarded, and we're fortunate enough to get a ring. So
That's so great. I love, I think it's great that there's such a thing as sports production. Like it's a thing. And like you go to a sporting event, and you try to, I really understand sports. I watched it with my dad. I asked so many questions, he'd be mad at me. And I get every single sport thing that's out there. And when they started with the jumbotrons and all, I didn't know there was a thing called sports production, and that's exciting to me.
yeah, I mean, like my whole career was in this, and before I got into sports production, I did not realize that this was a whole productions, it's lack of a better way to put it, that there are guys out there playing the music. There are guys out there making the videos, creating the content, working with sponsors, all those things to create the fan experience. And now through the years, since when I started, you've seen the Jumbotrons get bigger and bigger and more advanced and become the jewel of all these stadiums and arenas. So it's pretty cool to kind of be on that in that world in that regard. So it's
Wow.
fun.
So how did you go from, were you born and raised in Long Island?
Born and raised, I'm from a beautiful neighborhood called Brentwood, Long Island, where if you knew Brentwood, you would laugh at that statement because Brentwood is a very rough neighborhood on Long Island. It's where MS-13 thrives, the gang. And a couple of years ago, Donald Trump had to go there to Brentwood to kind of talk about what he's going to do to MS-13 and all this stuff. So I'm never been affiliated with the gang, but because I hear they beat you in, they got to beat you up to get you in. So I didn't like that. So I decided, and you got to get face tattoos. And I said, I don't really interested in getting any face tattoos. So I decided against joining the gangs. But that's where I'm from. I'm from Brentwood, and I was there for a long time before I moved down south.
Okay. And so like it was easier to become a comedian because you get beat up as you get in once you're in?
When I started doing stand-up, comedy in the late 90s. And, I was younger. I thought I was hilarious or whatever. And then you get up on stage and normally your first show you ever do, your friends and your family all come to support you. So you have a great set.
Yeah.
Because they're laughing just because you're up there. So then your confidence level is like way up. So then I did another show and I did okay. And so like if it was a chart, my first one was high up, then all of a sudden I started to go down, then a little up. But then I thought I was getting there. And I only did stand up for a couple of years. And the one of the points when I realized maybe I should find something else was when I went into the city and I did a show at the famous Comedy Cellar, and I'm up there, and right before they called my name, I got extremely nervous, like extremely nervous, more than normal. And I went up there and I'm stumbling, and I'm messing up all my jokes, and I bombed horrifically, to the point where some of my friends who were there didn't even like mention the show after it was over. Like they didn't even say, they didn't say anything. It was just so that was kind of when I realized, all right, I don't know if I'm enjoying this. I know I love comedy, and I know I love the art of stand-up comedy, and I know I love comedians and being around comedians, but I don't know if it's my thing. So after that, I started doing radio and all those things, and then I was writing for a local magazine called Good Times Magazine, and I would cover all the comedy shows and cover the comedians. I was a judge at comedy, like comedy competitions or whatever. And I was part of the comedy world. And then I moved to down south and then got involved with comedy over there as well. Even though I was working in sports, I'm still always drawn towards comedy world. And I started, working with Charlie Goodnights. I don't know if you know that club, Goodnights, it's called now, but at the time it was Charlie Goodnights. And I would interview comedians over there too for their local paper. And so I did that for a long time. So it was fun.
That's
As you
so
know, there's
good.
nothing better than talking to comedians all the time.
I know. The banter is so positive for my endorphins are loving this gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I get them on, I get to heckle them, and they get to heckle me. Then I roast them, they roast me, and then we hang up.
That's how, you gotta love it.
Yeah. So what was it like being you as a child? Were you always in the principal's office, or did you become funny to get the girls? What's the deal with Sill?
I never deliberately said, let me try to be funny for the girls, or let me try to be funny to be popular. It was just, who you are. Like, if you're naturally, I don't think I'm that hilarious but if you're a naturally funny person, or if that's who you are, then that will come out regardless. But yeah, and like I said, my neighborhood was a little rough. So the making guys laugh and girls laugh was never hurt me. It was always a positive thing to have. But you got to also, roll with it and, do your best to stand up for yourself and that sort of thing. I mean, after all, the MS-13 were everywhere. No.
What's the best thing that's happened to you in your comedy life? If you could only remember, let's say God's going to give you dementia today. Yeah, I'm just a natural comedian. I can't help it. And so he's going to give you dementia today. And he says, but you can only remember one thing of your comedy life. What is it that you want to remember?
Wow. If I had dementia and I can only remember, I would probably not be able to get the vision of Jeff Bosey in a dress out of my head. And I would hope that dementia would wash that away.
I have to see this.
Jeff Bosey, he wears shoulderless dress where his shoulders are out, and he loves it. He loves it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just he's not that attractive in a dress. And I know he's watching right now, so I wanted to throw a little shot at him. But
I love him.
Yeah, he's great. I love Bosey. Now, look, it's been a relatively long career I've had somewhat in the comedy world, and I loved every minute of it. There are not many negative memories, as you know, about being in comedy. It's all positive. I would say that I do love.
Are you on drugs?
I know, but I should be. I do love, Governors, what I've done at the radio station there, and I want to give props.
I love it too.
Yeah, I want to give some props to Tony Walker for being a really good program manager and give me the opportunity to get on the show and start do my own game show. And the game show.
Tell me about the game show.
Well, so when I got back to Long Island and I was working to get back into the comedy scene, Tony gave me an opportunity to have a show and give me a platform on the station. So I didn't want to do at the time, like I wanted to do something different. And I didn't see anybody doing comedy game shows or any kind of game shows on podcasts. There could be some that I don't know about, but I didn't know of any. So I had this idea for a while, something I used to do on my old radio show of, kind of putting comedians through these different tests. So I decided, hey, why not make this a competition of sorts and get two comedians that are kind of upstarts, less than 5 years experience under their belt, and have them go through these competitions while they're being judged by three more seasoned comedians.
Yes.
So we had like Jeffrey Gurian, who I don't know if you've had Jeffrey Gurian on your show. He'd be a great interview. You should reach out to Jeffrey Gurian. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I tried to get him on, and he gave me a whole lot of things he wanted me to read, and I don't play that game. You come on and I talk to you.
Right.
Low tech.
But we've had a lot of great comedians on as judges, and a lot of great comedians who came on as contestants, and it's been a lot of fun. The winner wins the prize. The grand prize is stage time on the main stage. Yeah, and you, and we'll get to propose to Linda. No. And now with COVID, our first winner from our first season still hasn't performed yet. It's the hilarious Mandy Jones. If you get a chance, Mandy Jones, I don't know if you've had her on your show.
I want her on. I want her partner on, but she won't let me interview her. She's like, no thanks.
Who, Bonnie?
Yes, yeah. I love Bonnie. I want her on with Mandy.
Yeah, you should. They're both great human beings. Yes. But Mandy Jones was our first winner of our first season. Then we started our second season, and then COVID hit. So now we're doing something different. We're doing kind of what you're doing. We're doing Zoom interviews. We got sketches. Guys like Jeff Bosey and Andrew Plagianos are kind of a part of our team. We have Benny Rizzuti. Benny is my partner on the show, my co-host. He also has a character called the Gagoots, who's a roast master. He's another.
I want Benny and Nancy on. I can't see them.
They should come on.
Thank you.
And if you have Benny, make sure he comes as the Gagoots, and he's ready to do some Gagoots roasts. You'll love it. It's awesome.
Okay.
But then, so now we're doing that. We're having a lot of fun. Like I said, we've shared some guests, like Tom Dreesen and also Stephen Pearl. You had Steve Pearl on the show. We've had him on ours.
He's going to be my roommate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, platonic.
Wow. When that happens, then I got to have you both on the show.
September 1st.
September 1st. Okay, let's make that happen. I'll get you both on. That'll be amazing. So you guys are going to be living together?
Yeah, just because, it's going to help us both out financially.
Right.
I live in a very unsafe neighborhood. He lives in a safe neighborhood. I have cockroaches I'm teaching English to as a second language during the pandemic. He doesn't have cockroaches.
Oh, so you're moving to his house?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And his girlfriend approved it, so we're good.
There you go. There you go. So that's going to be a fun dynamic and interesting.
When you're around him, you just get better with your comedy. I mean, just hanging out with him since October, I've gotten so much funnier just by bantering with him and other people at his level.
Osmosis. Yeah, because he's so fast and quick, and the way his mind works. There's a reason why Robin Williams took so much of his material.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, but Stephen Pearl's awesome human being, great guy. He's a legend amongst comedians, and that's awesome that you're going to be living with him.
Yeah.
Cool.
So let's get back to you. You got up on stage. You're doing this show at Governor's. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened around Governor's that you're allowed to talk about, that you still? I was with Harvey's Comedy Club in Portland. Every night was a blank show between the comics and the homeless people trying to come in. And I'm not picking on the homeless, but their home was across the curb. And so, they'd always try to infiltrate our mics in our shows. Like right. We're not, so there was always something popping off.
There's always, there's whenever you got big groups of people and comedians and entertainers who thrive off, attention and getting laughs. And there's always a level of competition amongst comedians. But I think, I'm trying to think of some stories as we go here, but that I could talk about.
I'll, we had
But
a guy come in with a broken bottle of beer and threatened to cut the face of the bartender for no reason while I'm doing my set. You
wow,
know,
that's always fun.
that was fun, you know. Another guy was out there and they were two homeless people were getting ready to fight. I'm giving you time to think of your thing. Two homeless, great big picture window. And you had to stand in front of the picture window and face the audience. And so there's a show going on behind us for the audience to watch. It has a whole different kind of comedy production, nothing to do with the club. And so the comedian turns around and starts egging them on,
Wow.
and which is the wrong thing to do. So like that was scary.
Look, are the clubs open where you are now in Vegas?
Well, the big casinos, no. Their clubs, all the entertainment is shut down, hasn't opened up in minimal amounts yet that I know of. But there are places around town that are on the hush hush. But then there's like the drive-ins with the cars and the honking, which is confusing to me because I'm a boomer. Honking meant you're horny. You know, that's like so weird. You get paid for what?
That's awesome.
No roller skates this time. And so, God, and so the world. And so, but there are like 2 or 3 places around the perimeter of Las Vegas proper that are open. And they say social distancing and masks required until you get inside, and then they take them off and look at me like I'm the idiot.
Well, in Governors, they're open up too. They have the indoor stage is the main stage, and then they have the outside stage now that they just built. It's called the patio. And I don't know if you've seen images or pictures of that, but they have the plexiglass wall up on the stage. So the comedians are now behind this plexiglass and look like they're in like a fish tank or something. But it's weird because I don't know if the plexiglass is there to protect the comedians from the audience or the audience from the comedian, but it just seems to be like a really big spit guard because all the spit at the end from the comedians. So it's pretty weird, but they're also doing a good job with the paper menus. They got hand sanitizer everywhere. Everyone's got to wear masks. Then when you sit down, magically you're allowed to take your mask off. Like the germs know when you're sitting to leave you alone. But if you stand, mask on, sit down, mask off. So it's just this weird, COVID knows the rules. COVID understands. They're like, oh, he's sitting down, but yeah, but it's been working out really good. I think Andrew Dice Clay's there this weekend. David Tell's coming. So we have the big headliners are coming around again. So that's nice to see the national acts come running through, and some of, David Tell, Long Island guy, obviously,
you have
Dice
Kevin
Clay.
James. How's James doing?
Kevin James is great. I don't know him personally. I would love to have him on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but I do like what he's doing. I don't know if you've seen on his YouTube page, Kevin James. He's putting out these little short films. I'd say about once a week, once every 2 weeks. One of them is called the story of the boom mic operator, and he's like this boom mic guy on all these Hollywood sets. And you got to check it out. If everybody get a chance, watch Kevin James on YouTube. His stuff. I'm pitching this for this guy, and I never met him. Hopefully, he watches this and then decides to be on your show and then be on my show.
I'm gonna hashtag Kevin James on here and his YouTube, and so that he'll come on here and go, "Why is my hashtag on there?"
It's a great thing. I love what he's doing, actually. I like these YouTube bits he's doing. And this is kind of one of those backhanded compliments, I would say, but I mean it in the best way possible. I like what he's doing now more than most of his movies. I think these are really funny. Some of them are really heartfelt. He's got one where he gets abducted by aliens, and he goes into talking to the aliens about about humanity and all stuff. It gets a little deep, but I think everyone should check these out.
And you have Brian Christopher Roach up at your Governors. That's where he was scouted by Kevin James.
Yep, Chris Roach. He's a Governor's regular.
Roach.
Yeah, yep, and he's been around for a long time. A lot of those guys were around or just starting the same time period I was starting, and it's funny to see them become stars, and I'm still, and I think to myself, if I would have stuck with stand up, would I have been able to get to that next step or not? Because it is hit or miss, I think, a lot of times, but Chris Roach is a great stand-up comedian, Governor's regular, and kind of a staple of the Long Island comedy scene. So he's a great guy too, and
so
still doing
humble.
Very humble. I think he's from Ronkonkoma, which is not too far from where I grew up, right by Lake Ronkonkoma, which is like the biggest lake.
Was that like MS 11 or 12?
Well, MS 13, they don't like to go swimming in the lake, so they stay away from Lake Ronkonkoma.
Funny word, Ronkonkoma.
Ronkonkoma. Yeah, most of the towns on Long Island are named after Indian tribes. So you got Massapequa, Hauppauge, Ronkonkoma, Quogue, stuff like that.
Isn't Hauppauge where the Clintons were?
Possibly. It's I think comedian Bob Nelson is from the Hauppauge area. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Not 100%. Bob Nelson's another legend from Long Island that you should try to get on your show.
Okay, I'll tell him you sent me.
Yeah, I go way back with Bob.
I'll just drop your name wherever I need to, at Starbucks, Walgreens.
Yeah, there you go. Walgreens. I could give you my phone number, and you get like the coupon. If you go up there, just give my number, and then they'll give you 5% off of your purchase.
Their receipts are like jumping ropes to me.
Yeah, they're like 6 foot high. It's ridiculous.
Oh, God.
If you need toilet paper, they don't have any. Just buy some other stuff at CVS, and you get yourself a roll.
It is the corner of happy and healthy. What do you know? Finally. So what do you want to talk about besides Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up, your comedy show through Governors at Long Island? What else would you like to plug? Where do you want traffic on the interwebs?
Well, I would like everyone to check out our YouTube page and subscribe. We're trying to get subscribers to our YouTube pages, youtube.com/putupshutupstandup. And, and there's all kinds of stuff on there. We're trying to work to get some more skits out there, some more kind of different content, more music videos. We have this guy named Ken Pichelle who does all these really great kind of song parodies for the show. And he's based out of North Carolina, and he does all these like amazing song parodies. So I'm always trying to make music videos to accompany his song parodies, and we're putting those all up on the YouTube page.
Like
all of our
yeah,
he's just playing the banjo up there. Squeal, and I will squeal. No, but and he no, so yeah, if you go up on the YouTube page, subscribe to us. You never know. I try to post stuff at least once a week, fresh things that you won't get on anywhere else except for YouTube. So check it out. We got a great cast of characters on our show. Like I said, we have Ken Pichelle, we have Benny Gaguch Rizzuti, Plajanos, Tim Saliani, this other comedian. You should get him on your show. He does
Who is that?
His name's Tim Saliani. He's this big burly comedian who goes on these rants and tirades, and they're all hilarious. And not many comedians could do angry well. Like Lewis Black is probably the best at it. But this guy does angry hilarious. He makes really valid points in his comedy too. But
who's really good at angry rants is Jimmy Schubert.
Yeah, Jimmy Schubert. I had him. Have you had him on your show? I had him on mine
Twice.
as well. Yeah, he's great. He is great.
We should compare points. We should give points, for different levels. How many times?
Yeah.
Did they tell any secrets? Did you get an extra special that they've never told anybody? You know,
The one thing I got from Jimmy was he talked about the whole Chris D'Elia controversy going on, and so that was interesting, and that got some views.
wow.
But yeah,
Have
what do
you
you
ever
think?
had Bobby Rydell?
No,
Did you know he did impersonations before music?
really, Bobby Rydell?
He's nice. You can get him on. He falls like a domino.
All right. I will reach out to Bobby Rydell. That sounds awesome. I appreciate the heads up. Yeah.
Tell him I sent you. It goes a long way.
I definitely will. Definitely will.
He sang "Forget Him" to me. I get extra points. I don't think he's going to sing that to you.
I doubt it. I'm not nearly as pretty. He'll maybe if I get Bosie in it, maybe if Bosie's with me in the dress and we're together, maybe then he'll sing. We'll
Because
see.
he wants to forget Bosie.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I think we all do to some degree.
Oh my God, we're gonna get in trouble.
Oh yeah, Bosie's gonna send me a hate text in a minute.
What's the funnest thing that's happened during your contest? Put up, shut up, and stand up.
We had many fun moments. We had Jackie the Joke Man Martling on the show. He was on the final, like the championship show. He was our big judge, and his stories were hilarious about just his life and things he's done, and then of course he comes out and says jokes and things like that. It's just been a fun run between the game show and now this quarantine version of it that we've been doing, which we have 20 episodes of the quarantine. And I think we had 17 episodes of the game show. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the game show mode.
Yes.
And then, yeah, if you come to Long Island, you could be a judge. You'd be a great judge. I think you would be. You fit the criteria of everything we need in a judge.
Yes. And like people just assume because of my age, I'm very judgy. So it works.
I just think because you got such a positive vibe and you love comedy. And I also think that you're a veteran of comedy.
Thank you.
And you would be able to really analyze these newer comedians and give them the advice that they could use. Because that's what the show's really about. It's about not really about who wins or loses the contest. It's more about helping shape these comedians and almost giving them like a free tutorial, if you will. So like a lot of comedians will do their bit and then the judge will critique them. Say, hey, you know what? I like what you're doing there. I like your persona, but that bit you just did kind of goes a little bit against your persona. If I was you, I would do it this way, that way. And I could really see you being great at that. That's just the vibe I'm getting from you.
So that I went to school for teaching. I was a trainer at Washington Mutual before they went bankrupt, nothing to do with my teaching. And then I also went into teaching comedy at Harvey's Comedy Club. And so that's what you do when you've got a whole 5 years behind you.
But see, I saw all that.
Thank you.
And I did not know that, but I saw that.
And you're not going to propose? You still have time to get a proposal out. I'll take a cigar band.
Let's see what I will.
Do I see white picket fences behind you?
I think that our second Zoom is when I'll
he's not coming back. That's code for he's gonna ghost me.
No.
Oh God, this is
I'm having a blast. Yeah, you're awesome. And yeah, you got to definitely once this we get the vaccine and all of us are vaccinated. And we're all ready to start the new world, the new voyage, the post.
I haven't gotten over the 1958 sugar pills.
There you go.
Do what? Goes to my coffee. Crazy damn world. Thank you so much for coming on.
This was great.
Have a couple minutes to wrap up. I'll let you do the wrap up. What would you like to say to people? How to get through a pandemic or God, don't forget to go to my YouTube and watch my show and Governor's Radio, blah, blah, blah.
Well, first I want to thank you, Linda, for having me on. You had a lot of great guests on, and to be included amongst all those is an honor, and I appreciate that. Secondly, it's really great to talk to you and get to know you a little bit. I think you're an awesome human being, and with a terrific smile that brightens the room. But I do want to also say to everyone, check out our shows at Governor's Radio. We're on Facebook, Govs Comedy Club Radio.com. Also check out Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on YouTube and on Govs Radio, as well as other shows like No Rhyme, No Reason with my good friend Jeff Bosey. Has his show with Rich Rada. They got their thing on there, and there's also Domestic Disturbance, and of course Knock 'em Dead Comedy every day. So if you tune in to Govs Comedy Club Radio, you could see shows all the time. There's probably one going on as we speak, but so I appreciate you letting me plug all that and all my Govs comedy family. There's a lot of other shows that I are not thinking of right now, unfortunately, but they're all great shows. There's Three's Company is another show, not the John Ritter. This is the one with Bonnie and Mandy Jones. There's Domestic Disturbance show, which is hilarious. They just had a great episode last night. Limo Talk with Graz. If you ever want an edgy guy to come in, Anthony Grazade. They call him the Graz, or Grazmeister Fresh, or the Graz Man.
Okay. Thank you for all those ideas.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm just,
Which in long, I have like one closing burning question strong there. So Adidas, and I'm from Oregon, that's Nike. So I have a problem with your hat, but I'll overlook it.
That's fine. We could blur it out.
So, which has the weirdest names? Cities in Long Island or people's last names?
I would say that's a tough one, but I would say the cities, the towns in Long Island are tough. Like if I were to show like someone not from Long Island the titles of some of these towns, the names, you wouldn't be able to pronounce them. Where we grew up this way, where it's like, second nature to us island people. But I would say the names are harder than the names. If you're from Long Island, you're very acquainted with Italian last names.
Yes.
My neighbors was the Paratis, the Paciulis, the Lucettis.
Yes.
The Fettuccinis and the and the Marineras. They were all nice people.
What's the best Italian restaurant on Long Island where you can get a kickback for saying their name?
Oh, well, I'm out here in Manorville, Long Island. It's right next to West Hampton and by the Hamptons, right? And my neighborhood pizzeria Italian restaurant is called Panaccio's. And it is the best chicken parms I ever had in my life. And that's saying a lot because I love chicken parms. And if Panaccio's is watching this, hopefully hook me up because I love that place.
That's awesome. I have a sponsor, Dollar Tree. Dollar. It doesn't get me very far, but it's all you can steal, back to the shoplifting.
Well, very nice. And the water too is very nice because that's what it said on it. But I think, this is awesome. You're great. And I wish you all the best with Stephen Pearl. This is great that you're going to be living. That's like a sitcom.
That should be a sitcom.
You got to document that on your phone.
Yes.
And then even if you want, and send in clips and I could run them on my show and give you guys a little segment.
Okay.
Stephen and Linda in Vegas, and then just have you guys living life and enjoying it. And then every now and then Stephen's girlfriend shows up and ruins everything.
She's going to be massively jealous.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so very much, Don Sill. You guys get behind Don Sill. Governors Radio, Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up, YouTube, and on his, follow him, support him. I'll put all the links up and you can correct me if anything is goofy.
I appreciate it, Linda. Thank you so much. You're awesome. And we
Thank
definitely
you.
want to get you on our show as well.
Thank you so much, John Sill. Have a great day. I love you lots.
All right. Love you too. Thanks.
Bye.
Take care.